Welcome everybody to another rousing round of Roseburg speakers and storytellers. Welcome, Julie. Yay! How about that? Please turn off your microphones when you're not speaking and stay on camera if at all possible. We are going to have another wonderful meeting. Without any further ado, I'm going to turn this back over to our lovely and talented president, Miss Yasmin.
Hey, welcome everyone. So nice to see some of the faces we have been daring to see for some time. So to begin with, yay, Alice, I'm very happy. I think we are gonna have to hear some melodious music. Sure, you have to compensate by singing many songs to us for sure. Welcome the lovely faces I see always. Christina, Mary, Ruku, Julie, you need a special mention because we love you always. Tiger, Ayu, Teja, I see you're getting up, and that's the excitement without assess in the morning for some of us and late night for some of us, like Stephen, our senior guest, Jack, Jerry, welcome. And I'm very, very, very excited to introduce the Toastmaster of the day today, which is a very lovely member, Alice, who does not only live and come from the loveliest city of Greece, the summers of Greece, but she's also blessed with melodious voice. And yes, she was the division speech contest winner for our and represented our club. So ladies and gentlemen, are you excited as me and looking to welcome Alice? Alice, the stage is yours.
Hi, Yasmin. Thank you so much for this introduction. I feel very happy to see you again, but I was busy doing nothing. Oscar Wilde said, "It is awfully hard work doing nothing." But what does that mean? Isn't it supposed to be easy to sit and do nothing? It's been 1.5 months since my vacation started. There had been 2 difficult years without any vacation. I had problems with my sleep, and when I was awake, I was feeling irritable, aggressive, and angry without any reason. I decided that this summer I would relax. No more stress and anxiety in my life. I will face the problem. I will just sit with myself and do nothing. No worries. I started going to the beach alone. I couldn't relax. I started checking my phone and thinking that I had to do so much. I was feeling guilty for being lazy. I was shocked. I was so busy all these years, and now I couldn't control myself to stop. After 1 month of hard try, I began to connect to myself. I started to feel the nature around me, the sea, the sky, the stones, and the wind. I didn't do anything apparently productive. Even today, it was very difficult for me to prepare for this role. But I earned the relationship with me. I feel more focused, calm, and I can sleep for 8 hours at night. Yeah! What about you? When was the last time you did nothing, and how long did it last? Were there any consequences? Let's start for today with the first role, who is our grammarian. But I don't know who is it. I think it's a guest. Who is the grammarian for today? Jerry. Jerry, hi. I don't know who you are, but I like your smile.
Thank you, Alice.
Would you explain your role for today to us?
Okay.
And the word of the day?
Okay. Word of today is nothing. Sorry, I forgot because you know I take this rule without any preparation. So anybody can tell me about the word of today. So idea to raise the word by myself.
I think the word nothing is a great word of the day, Jerry. Well done.
Okay.
Goes
So
along with the theme.
okay, if you guys think this is okay, so the word of today is nothing. Okay.
I like the word. It is very simple. We can all connect to that word. And now let's go to our timer. Our timer is Ayu. Ayu, I feel so happy to see you again. I admire her and appreciate her very much because she's so generous and kind with us. Ayu, explain your role.
I will. Just a moment. I'm trying. It seems like it's hard for
Why
me.
are you green?
Yeah, it's better to not using any background for this time around. So this is what I'm going to communicate the color, the card. This will be the minimum time. The yellow will be the in between the minimum and the maximum, and red means we need to stop. And every one of us will have 30 seconds to wrap up. I believe everyone here know that prepared speech is normally 5 to 7 minutes. Level topic is 1 to 2 minutes, and evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. Nobody new here, so we are ready. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, Alice.
Thank you, Ayu. And now we're going to the one and only Tiger, who will be our counter. Tiger, where are you? What are you doing there?
I have a very simple explanation. I am going to do nothing. Because none of you are going to use filler words. So I'm just going to sit here and drink my coffee and try to wake up and enjoy the meeting. Back to you.
I believe there isn't any role, but only the general evaluator, but I will introduce you later, Mary. And now we're going to the first part of our meeting, which is prepared speeches. Our first speaker is Rukiaya Modagam, a sensible and sensitive person who brings value to our meetings. Her pathway is persuasive influence, connect with storytelling. Her project title is My Path to Writing a Poem. Rukiaya Montagam, My Path to Writing a Poem. The stage is yours, Rukiaya.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Doing nothing leads you to think something, which gradually makes you prone to doing many things. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My dear RSS family and esteemed guests of RSS. I want to ask you all that has there been any time when you were doing nothing, but it led you to do something that had become a hobby or a very fruitful thing in your life? Can you please post answers for me or just unmute yourself and speak it? Scribbling to kill time, which turned into sketches. I'm sure I have seen some of your drawings. Anybody else?
you repeat the
Wedding.
question?
Okay, so there has been this time in my life too. This story dates back to the year 2012, when I became prone to some illness, which lasted for around 5 to 6 years. But from that whole duration, there was this 1.5 year, which was my 6th standard. I remember it so clearly. At that point of time, I was so low on my self-esteem, and physically also, I was so unwell that I was not even able to attend my schools, do my daily course, play with my friends, have fun with my family. I was just laying down in my bed doing nothing. I was absolutely not doing anything. But everybody says, and this is a true thing, that in every bad you can find a good. So my path of not doing anything led me to my path of writing poems. There was this one day when I was so bored with searching on Google, laying down on my bed and looking at the lame walls, that I started gazing at the farms behind my home. There was this one old, or you can say a mid-aged lady, working on the fields. She was planting the trees, planting the crops, which she has on the whole agricultural farm. Then she had her lunch, she started again, and when the sun was setting down, she went home. Now, you all must be wondering that what is so special about this? This whole scenario is special to me in a sense that this was the first time when I wrote that whole scene into words, which became a rhyming poem. I was gazing at her. I wrote one sentence, then I gazed back at her again, and then I wrote another one. Since my childhood days, I had been very, very enthusiastic and very attracted towards the rhyming words. Whenever I used to learn or read any poem, I always used to search for the words which were rhyming. And that attracted me a lot. But I never knew till that point of time that I can also write rhyming words. I can put my word into a rhyme and I can make it a poem. But that day, when I saw her and I started scribbling on the pages, there came a beautiful poem, which was titled as A Girl in the Farm. I wrote the whole scenario, and at the end of the day, where I had no one, I had one companion. That was my mother. Because I was home all the time, and the only companion at that point of time was my mother. I ran to her, I gave her my diary, and I told her to read the poem, the very first poem that I had written. And as you all know, moms are love. They try to encourage their children in every small way that is possible. And she did the same. She was so happy that I wrote something when I was not even able to stand up from the bed. She was so happy that she announced everywhere that my daughter can write poem. It was not a big deal. I know it was not, but for her, it was. Because in the days where I was not even ready to speak to someone, she was the one who encouraged me to write something. There are times when you are not able to do anything, but doing nothing also leads you to do many things. And there should be some times where you take out a couple of minutes or a couple of hours from your day or from your busy schedule to do nothing, to go and take and to go and experience that you can do many things. There are hidden things inside you which you can search for and make it your hobby or a lifestyle which can lead you to success. Thank you, and back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
We lost Alice, yeah.
Yes, I see her. She's waiting in the room, so I'm just admitting her back to the room. Yeah, she's here with us. Yeah, Alice, you were disconnected, but we're glad you're back. So Ruku has just finished her speech.
I feel sorry for that. My laptop died, and I was enjoying so much the speech of Ruko. I was. She's very good at it. Ruko, congratulations. I have heard some of your poems, I think. Last time you were at TMOD, and I think you are wonderful. Your poems are art. And now I think we are going to my favorite part, which is table topics. Table topics. Our table topics master is Yasmin. Aren't you the table topics?
Deja.
Deja. Sorry, but I have. I miss the. I have been missing the meetings for very much time, and I don't know you. Deja, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I'll introduce myself. My name is Deja, and I live in Roseburg. So I am a resident of our club's location. I have gotten a chance to meet Ayu and Tiger and Michelle in person. That was great. But it's nice to meet you, Alice, and I hope to see your face around a lot more often. I am the table topics master. I will be asking members of the audience to spend 1 to 2 minutes speaking on a topic that I give you. I'll go ahead and start. Yasmin, you've already identified yourself as one of our table topic speakers. I'll start with question 1. What is one thing that you do in your life on a regular basis that you could do less of or give up entirely? For example, watching TV or going on social media.
So would you please repeat for me? It's like one thing
Of
that I
course.
do on regular basis, which I can give up.
Yes, that you could give up or do less. That you could give up entirely or do less. So in line with the theme of the meeting, doing nothing, what is one thing that, what is one something that you do that you could give up?
Wow. Thank you for this very, very interesting question. And the first thing that could come to the mind of an Indian is tea. Chai, the masala chai. I am so inseparable to drinking tea. The first thing in the morning, 2 liters of tea. Too much time cooking, preparing it. It's a ritual. It's not that I just make tea in the cup with, it's a full ritual to be followed. So I have to put it on a low flame, get it cooked with milk for like 15-20 minutes with all the cardamom, cumin. So look at the time that it takes for me. 30 minutes in the morning to prepare the tea, 30 minutes to drink 2 liters of tea. So 1 hour every morning before I open my eyes
Wow.
and say like, okay, I am good to go for the day. This is a habit I love, love, love. I cannot imagine my day without this. But this is the habit I want to give up, give up, give up, because drinking too much tea in the morning is a slow poison. I am addicted to it. I should not be doing it, and I would like to give it away. It's not a practice I was born with. It's not that as a child I started drinking tea forever. No, not until I was like in my very high school. I never had a single cup of tea. It's just that I got this bad habits amongst many from my friends in the college. For any chit-chatting, for any social thinking, they will take me for a tea. And this is something you have to learn, that Indians cannot live without tea. And like me, many Indians are struggling hard to give away their tea. So tea is something I love, love, and tea is something I hate, hate, and I want to give away. So doing nothing but drinking tea is not good. Giving it back to you, table topping master Deja.
Thank you, Yasmin. Am I correct in that you described adding the cardamom and the cinnamon? Do you make it by hand? You don't have a, wow. Well, I would love to get your recipe.
That's the milk tea, yeah, the typical Indian chai. It's a process.
Yeah. I can imagine. Okay, question number 2. I will go ahead and pick on Christina. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Disha.
There are many ways. There are many ways to meditate. One way is to turn off your brain, relax your body, and simply do nothing. Do you meditate? What do you think about meditation?
Thank you, Disha. This is a really interesting question. And meditation is one of those things that I always know I should do, but I don't do it often enough. There was a time when I used to swim very regularly. And I know this may sound incredibly bizarre, but for some reason, just swimming in a quiet pool where I'd be slowly going up the pool, down the pool, consistently for about an hour, that was when I got my best ideas. It seemed to clear my head out. It would just allow me to think of, sometimes you're in a project, what's that next step I need to do for things to come right? Now, is that sort of moving meditation, is that completely letting your mind go blank? Probably not, but it was something that made my life very effective and gave me that inspiration. Now, in the background, you can probably see I've got lots of cushions, and every now and again, I will try and sit in a yoga pose on the floor and meditate in a more conventional way. And very occasionally that works, but more often than not, I've probably just not had that much practice sitting still for that long. And my capacity to do nothing is quite high. I agree with Alice on that. And sometimes the gap in between doing things is the way to move on and do something more productive. But for me, sitting on a cushion probably isn't my primary way of doing for it, but I'd be really interested to hear what anyone else has to say on the topic. So thank you for bringing that up, Deja.
Thank you, Christina. One thing that you said that swimming did is clear your mind. It's a good segue into my next question. Is Tiger available to speak?
No, I'm not available.
I just like to call on you for this next question because you usually do better with my more metaphorical questions. Sometimes your computer gets bogged down with extra files and starts to run slowly. To fix the issue, what we usually do is clear the cache. I don't know if the phrase is the same in India or China, but you clear your cache of files just to clear it out and your computer starts to run a little faster. Metaphorically, has your mind started to slow down with extra files or thoughts and worries? And had you ever had to clear your cache? How often do you clear your mind? And how do you do it?
Wow, I've taken psychology classes that were easier than this. This last week, I have been absolutely enthralled and obsessed with the World Championship of Public Speaking. Because I want to compete. I haven't been able to compete for 3 years and I want to compete again. I want to be like Yasmin. I want to be a district champion. I have a speech that I have been working on for 2 years. And after watching these speakers, I have rewritten this speech. Michelle would love this. 7 times in the last 10 days. Yesterday, while waiting for somebody whose airplanes kept getting delayed, I ran my speech over in my head and over in my head and over in my head. Finally, about 9 o'clock last night, I just screamed. I hope the neighbors here at the hotel didn't hear me. Just quit. It's making me crazy. So I promised myself for the next 3 or 4 days, I'm putting it on the shelf. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to write about it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to give it a rest. And I watched a really bad movie for 2 hours. It's actually quite entertaining. You find with movies, the storyline's always the same. You know, man, woman have a problem, there's a kid, and then there's a problem, and then they do this thing, and then at the end it's a happy ending. It's like, wow, I could have wrote that movie. But for 2 hours, I let my mind just kind of wander off and not think about it. So I am in, what was the word you said? Change your cache?
Clear your cache.
That's what I'm doing. And at my age, I'll tell you what, it's going to take a while. Julie's smiling. I got Julie to laugh. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiger. That was a perfect metaphor. That was perfectly in line with what I was saying. And I absolutely agree with you. I've been there where my mind won't stop. And I do need to just reset. All right, who is next?
Stephen Deja, he has also marked himself as table topic speaker.
Thank you, Yasmin. Stephen, there are many ways to reduce stress, like doing a fun activity. However, fun in itself can be stressful, and in doing a fun activity, you are still doing something. Do you think doing nothing could be an effective way to release stress?
Thank you, Tisha. Doing nothing, I think it's a great way to relax yourself. Like Tiger mentioned earlier, so he was watching movies and a very horrible movie and has his mind wander around. It's a great way of relaxing. For me personally, I would go to the lake and stare at around the lake and the trees and let my mind wander around. So doing nothing. This is one of the way I relax myself, by doing nothing. Another way I relax myself by doing nothing is to just listen to the storytelling from my boys. So my 2 boys, they have different hobbies. They like computer games. I have no idea what they are talking about, but they would like to talk about it. So I would let them talk to me about this roles and the characters in these video games I have no idea about, but they enjoying talking a lot. They had fun, and I also had fun because I was relaxing. My mind was wandering and yeah, doing nothing. So that's my way of doing nothing. Back to you, Deja.
Thank you, Stephen. That was great. I'll move on to Mary. Christina had mentioned that she would love to hear someone else's opinion on meditation. Do you have an opinion on meditation?
Honestly, I have never done meditation. I have heard it's a very healthy thing. I heard it's a very cleansing thing to do. It's a great way to start your day on a very positive note. But I'm not a morning person, so the idea to get up and then if I sat there quietly for 5 minutes, I'd fall asleep again. So like I said, I have never tried meditating, but I certainly can see the benefits of doing things. So my way to meditate is not so much the traditional way. It's listening to audiobooks or reading books. It's just something that takes my mind away from my problems and the decisions I have to make. It allows me to escape my reality and enjoy the storyline in a book. So that's been my technique that I use to relax myself, is either listening to an audiobook, or actually reading a book. That's not the traditional one, but that's what I see as a form of meditation. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Mary. I understand what you're saying. When you get into a book or an audiobook, you get into the zone. I don't know if that's a phrase that you guys have in your respective countries, but when you're in the zone, time seems to pass by so quickly and you don't notice the world around you because you're just so engrossed into that activity that you're doing. And it is stress relieving. It does help clear your cache and just reset you. Julie, I see that you wanted to speak and I would love to call on you. You can speak about meditation or relieving stress through a fun activity or doing nothing, or an activity you do on a regular basis that you could do less of or give up entirely. Were there any of those three questions that spoke to you?
Can I hear the third alternative again?
Sure. What is one thing that you do in your life on a regular basis that you could do less of or give up entirely? For example, watching TV, going on social media, or the example that Yasmin gave, which was making tea in the morning and then drinking it.
Lately, I teach storytelling to children in India, but I don't want to give it up. I go there every Monday at 7, and from London to India, it is a wonderful activity. Not easy, because there are 3 classes and they look at each other and they look at me, and I am supposed to be the workshop leader. And I decided that from now on, I will come regularly to your meetings. I don't want to give it up. I don't want to be a nothing, doing nothing thing. I stay in my bed often, too much. That is true. And I don't use my legs enough. That is true also. So the nothing activity would be to stay less in my bed and more walking, even if I walk only to my kitchen and back. And happily, when I go to the kitchen, I take something to eat, which is not nothing. I would prefer to make tea only. And it is red, so up to you, Master, and thank you for the questions.
Thank you, Jolie. I certainly agree with you about wanting to stay in bed longer, especially here in Roseburg, where the meetings are at 6:45 in the morning. All right, I think we have extra time to keep calling on people because we didn't have a second speaker. I just want to confirm with the Toastmaster. Or I should confirm with the timer.
Yes, we do have like 1 or 2% more, actually, 7:39. So we do have until 7:45 usually, maximum 7:50.
Okay. Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Jerry, I'll call
up.
on. I know the feeling. Jerry, I'll call on you.
Sure, if you want to hear my voice.
No, I said Jerry, not Michelle.
Okay.
Okay. Jerry, what does doing nothing mean to you?
I like, thank you, Table Talking Master Deja. Actually, I like the word from Ruka. Doing nothing leads you to do many things. Sometimes, when we focus on to do some things, you pay attention to, and for a long time, no any relax, no any rest. Especially during the work, and you will feel very, very stressed out. And we just, you got a feeling you want to escape from the reality. Or sometimes you will get the idea of quitting this awful job. I don't like this. I just want to leave this place, this location. I just want to maybe go out, climb the mountain and do nothing. But actually, we cannot do nothing. Even if you go to see the sky, even if you go to the lake side to wander around the lake, but you actually are doing something. So my point is, doing nothing leads to do many things. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. That was very good. I think I'd like to call on myself, actually, if that's okay. My topic is in line with Jerry's explanation that doing nothing is sort of a false idea that you are always doing something. So I would like to speak on doing the right something to accomplish doing nothing. So I've recently been listening to a philosopher named Eckhart Tolle, who stresses the importance of being in the present moment. When you are doing something, and you are doing many things, you're not very often in the present moment. You're thinking about what's next. You're thinking about the future. You are not here now enjoying what it is that you are doing right now. You're just doing it to get to the next thing. So I invite you to meditate in your own time, where you just sit, relax, try to clear your mind. You could think about your breathing. You could think about the feeling of your arms or your legs. And it takes you out of that mindset of doing something now, doing something next, doing something tomorrow, and brings you into the present moment and allows you to just be in this place. Kind of resets your mind, clears your cache, and allows you to just feel you yourself in this moment now and appreciate where you are before having to think about the next thing. Thank you. Ayu, do we have time for one more? Looks like our guest would like to speak.
It is now still 7:44. We do have one. If 2 person is okay. Maximum is 7:50.
Okay, great. Jack, was there a specific topic that you wanted to talk about? Jack, you'll need to unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for your demand. Yeah, I just turn on my speaker. Yeah. So now you can hear me.
It's a little choppy.
Today's the word nothing. I think it is a great word. We every day, every moment to say it. Okay, it is clear now? I just want to say no news is good news. When two parties for the negotiation and we didn't reach on the agreement, so one party we are waiting for another party. We must do and do nothing. I think we can do nothing, have done a lot of things come to us, no matter. But on the other hand, we actually do nothing. So that is my point. No.
Oh, looks like we lost him. That's too bad. Alrighty, I will go ahead and give it back. Oh, there we go. Let's see if we get him on there. Jack, we see you re-entered the room. Did you want to finish up your speech?
Yes, just the network is not, the internet is not work. Yeah, so finishing my speech. Yeah, back to.
Okay, Thank you, Jack. I will go ahead and hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Alice.
Thank you, Deja, I think. Deja, your questions were interesting and to the point, and you seem so relaxed and so self-confident, and I'm a bit jealous of you. And now we're going to our third part, which is evaluations. And let me introduce you our general evaluator, which is Mary Pearson. Mary, how happy I feel to see you again.
Thank you, Alice. Also a pleasure to see you as well. Always great to visit my RSS friends virtually. Before I ask my wonderful team to provide their reports, I wanted to share a picture that I have in my house that just I felt so appropriate for this meeting today. Let's see if I can get it. Or you might, I guess I have to show you a little at a time. It says the beach is where doing nothing is doing something. So the beach is my place where I rejuvenate, meditate, and relax. So doing nothing is doing something when I'm sitting at the beach. I'd first like to call upon our evaluator, Christina, who will be evaluating Ruku's speech. Christina, the floor is yours.
Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. It's my pleasure to evaluate Roku's speech today. And Roku's speech was a little different from normal because it was actually an unscripted speech. So I'd asked her what it was that she wanted me to look out for. And she was basically saying she wanted to see if she could speak in an impromptu way for approximately 7 minutes. So well done, Roku. You very, very clearly achieved that objective. The first thing that I loved was her introductory question. She asked us, doing nothing can lead to doing many things. I thought it was provoking. It definitely got me thinking. And she then moved on to give her introductory fellow Toastmasters line after that sentence. I liked the way that she structured that. I thought that was very effective. Roku was very precise in her description. She told us about a very specific time. She talked about 2012. She talked about a year and a half where she was really very unwell and was at home. Her pace worked really well with the story. She was inspired by a lady working in the farm, and as she lay in her bed, she managed to put together some words and to compile them into a poem. That's more than I can do at the best of times, Roku, so you're streets ahead there. She told us how she loved rhyming words, and she gave a beautiful description of what she saw from the woman arriving in the morning through to the sunset and when she left. She also gave a really lovely description of how when she made her poem, she took it to her mum and how excited her mum was and how encouraging and how she was telling the neighbours about her talented daughter. How lovely, and I'm sure that was very well deserved. So what could Roku do differently in this type of project? At the start, Roku asked a question and she asked us to put the comments into the chat. Now, I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I think if you're speaking and monitoring the chat at the same time, that's quite a difficult thing even for women to multitask with. So my first recommendation would be to ask somebody else to monitor the chat. And it also encourages a little bit more involvement with somebody else without actually needing to look at the chat, and generally we would be I would be peering into the screen because I wouldn't be able to see it from very far away. And then that leads me into another recommendation. I noticed Roku's posture wasn't as grounded as perhaps I would have liked. I haven't really noticed this with her before, but I felt that she initially tended to rock backwards and forwards a little bit. Now, maybe this was trying to look at the chat, but then afterwards she was rocking a little bit side to side. So I think just getting really grounded would add impact. Not that you can't move, but to make the movements deliberate. But in summary, I absolutely loved Roku's speech. She's such a natural storyteller. She's fluent, she's smiling, she's enthusiastic. She explained the benefits of how doing nothing can lead us to doing lots. And I loved the fact that she shared a personal story that adds great impact. So what a lovely example for us to follow of how to tell a great story. Well done, Roku.
Excellent evaluation and great feedback for our speaker. Thank you, Christina. I'd like to ask our Toastmaster today if you would mind if I slightly change the agenda order, move the grammarian to after the counter and timer so they have an opportunity to use the word of the day. Would that be okay, Alice?
I believe. I believe there isn't any problem. Nothing is problem for us.
There we go. Every opportunity to be able to use the word of the day, which I thought was a great word of the day. We've used it a lot. I'd now like to call upon our counter, Tiger. Tiger, could you give us your nothing report for ums and ahs today? Over to you, Tiger.
Well, I promised you I'd do nothing. Unfortunately,
Yeah, you got.
who said it? Are you ready? First of all, who is going to give up drinking tea? Not
Yasmin.
Yasmin. Mine is coffee. I've had 4 cups. I'm working on number 5, Michelle. You'd be proud of me. What was Christina asked to talk about?
Meditation.
Meditation. Stephen will do what to go relax?
Listen
What
to
does
his
Stephen
son's
do?
stories of his sons.
Or he goes to the lake. How long will it take for Mary to fall asleep when she's doing nothing?
Seconds.
I answered it and I don't remember.
5 minutes. You said 5 minutes. I do nothing. I try to meditate 5 minutes. I'm asleep. Who said enjoy what you are doing now?
Deja.
Oh, Deja.
Right.
That was Deja.
Deja.
All right, raise the hands. I always hate this Toastmaster thing. Raise your hand if you are enjoying what you're doing right now. You didn't raise your hand. That's the problem. We have a problem with the timer. That's okay. Back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, counter, for that interesting report and great listening expressed by both you and our members and guests today. Now I'd like to call upon our timer, IU, to give the timing report. IU, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I would like to start with, somebody said there is it's a quote, but I forgot who said that. But this is very related to our theme today, doing nothing. He said, empty is full, full is empty. Who said this? I forgot. So when we empty like everybody said, I think when we empty ourselves, it's actually we feel a lot. And when we are full, sometimes we cannot really feel. Well, in terms of time, everybody speak within their allotted time. Ruku 6 minutes 54, Yasmin 2 minute 12, Christina 1 minute 50, Tiger 2 minute 02, Stephen 1 minute 32, Mary 1 minute 14, Julie 2 minute 23, Cherry 1 minute 10, Deja 1 minute 37, Jack 1 minute 50, and Christina 3 minute 11. Good on doing nothing, RSS. Thank you, and back to you, Mary.
Thank you, IU, for that very thorough timing report. And lastly, I'd like to introduce our grammarian, Jerry, to tell us how we did on our grammar and the extensive use of our word of the day today. Jerry, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mary. Congratulations, everybody doing a very good job using the word of today. Okay, I don't want to mention because everybody has already used the word of today, nothing. and also I think nothing, it is fully aligned with today's theme, and there are no any grammar error but there are many good terms, good set sentence from the speakers, such as from Ruka, doing nothing means you need to do many things. I think this kind of philosophy issues give us the thought, make us think. So I think today is a very good grammar, whatever today, everything is perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Great report for grammarian and the word day. And I know you did not get much opportunity to prepare for this role. We stuck you with it at the end, but I think your word of the day was a great word, used tremendously. So well done. Now, my overall evaluation of the meeting. I love RSS Toastmasters. I look so forward to seeing each of you on Mondays. And I just came back from the Toastmaster convention in Nashville, Tennessee, and I talked extensively about the exciting club that I'm a member of that has so much diversity, so many people from many different countries throughout the world. So I was bragging on you, all of you, to the Toastmasters that I met. So it's great to be back. I've been doing a lot of traveling. Sadly, I'm supposed to have knee surgery next Monday, so I probably won't be here next Monday, but I'm feeling a little down in the weather here. I think I have COVID, so I may not be getting my surgery next Monday. So we'll see. But in any case, if I do have my surgery next Monday, I'll be homebound for a month. So you'll see me every Monday for at least the month of September if I have my surgery. Back to the meeting. I think it was a great meeting. Alice, you were flawless in how you ran the meeting. You started it off with a wonderful setting, talking about nothing and set the tone for the meeting. Ruku, I was so impressed. This was an impromptu speech. I had no idea that that's what you were working towards. It sounded so rehearsed, so well done. Feedback for Christina, I had already mentioned. I thought she did excellent feedback, gave us a lot of great things that you do, and the rest of us can take the suggestions that she made for you and maybe apply it to what we see in our own speeches. Great table topics. Deja, I mean, she really gave us an extensive round when you've got so many people here to make sure you get the whole round. I think the only person who didn't get a chance to speak was Michelle, so maybe we can get a word from her before we close our meeting this evening. I'm sorry, it's daytime here. It's about 11 o'clock. And great feedback. All the reports were done. We stayed within time. This is a 5-star meeting today. Great job with all the elements of a great meeting, followed by all you wonderful people. So it was an honor to be your general evaluator today, and look forward to seeing you again at future meetings. Back to our Toastmaster today, Alice.
Thank you, Mary. I hope that you feel very, very good. I hope that you don't have COVID. And now, oh, you did the test.
Yeah, and it says
It's-
positive, so
It's positive. I believe that you have COVID. Okay. All the best for you, Mary. And then you have injury.
So we're
in
all
your-
staying 6 feet away from each other.
Okay. I believe that now I have to hand over the control to Yasmin. Yasmin?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much, Alice. And I mean, I missed hearing a song today from you, but nevertheless, I'm not gonna let you go, I'm sure. And there is something exciting that we had the Toastmasters International Convention, and guess what? We have, at least I know, 3 people attended. It's you, Mary, Michelle. Maybe others also attended remotely, virtually, but I would like to invite you, either anyone you can pick up or maybe one after one. Just like let us know, how do you feel about it? Was there something special that we should know, or how was your experience? Michelle, we haven't heard from you today. Would you like to take this up?
Sure, except my voice is, I hope. The convention, the convention was a very special thing for me because I had been to several conventions before and they had been much bigger in terms of size. So I had been expecting, when I heard it's less than 1,000 people, they have limited the attendance due to just safety and COVID and everything. I was thinking, you're bringing it down from 2,500 to less than 1,000. That's not going to be as exciting. But I was wrong. In fact, I was telling Dave when I got back, if you did not count the number of people, if you were not looking at the size of the ballroom, everything, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the people were just, I think everyone was even more excited this time than before, because this was the first time after 3 years that we have an in-person, plus having the hybrid. It was amazing. In the finals for the contest, there were 4 people participating online and 4 people participating in the room. It was just a coincidence. It was just an amazing experience. So it was wonderful. I was so happy that I went. Back to you, Yasmin.
Wow, thank you for sharing that, Michelle. We have been seeing on YouTube. I encourage you all, if you have not seen the speaker, the 3 first speakers, for me, all the 3 speeches were wonderful. But yes, this guy, Nidini, I invite you to really go through YouTube and see his speech. But there is someone here in the room, which is you, which I guess went for the conference for the first time. Am I right? Are you in the convention? Were you first time in the convention?
Yes, it is my first convention, and thanks to Mary to really invite me, like doing the helping hand. So there is a program called Helping Hand where we can volunteer, and Michelle also make sure that I did that, because that is a way for me to connect with people too. Because as a first timer, you don't know who, you don't know no one, you know no one, and with the helping hand, you have to connect with the best. They will come to you and talk to you, and that create the connection. And even next week, I think, hopefully next week, Deb Peterson will try to come and join our meeting, and vice versa. So let's see. Personally, for me, the TI convention this time is like Tiger said it's probably so fun for me, but my expression my word is not fun. It's a life-changing. I see so many people and experience so much.
Yeah.
And
Look at Michelle. She's showing us the helping hands t-shirt.
yeah, it's just
Nice.
it's like a point. It's like a point for the next level.
Wow. I can see the excitement in yours and Michelle's eye. And I noticed one more thing. Both of you, your throats are gone. So either you cheered a lot or something was going on that took away your voice. You were maybe helping too much. But it is very, very nice to know and hear. Mary, we know you have been there so many times. How was your experience?
That was my first time to Nashville, Tennessee, and I really enjoyed the area. If you ever get an opportunity to visit Nashville, Tennessee, and you like to party and drink and listen to country music, that is the place to be. It's considered in the United States to be Music City. There were a lot of bachelorette parties, which are parties right before people get married. All these girls walk around with cowboy hats and short shorts and cowboy boots, and it was just such a fun thing just to sit and watch people. Also at the convention, people from all over the world. It makes you realize what an amazing organization this is. And next year's conference, if you didn't hear, is in Nassau, Bahamas. So beach, you're going to my favorite place. So I'm planning to go next year. Maybe some of you might consider it. And also the international speaking contest, if you get an opportunity. That was also a big highlight to see these people, the best of the world speakers performing. I can't imagine judging a contest like that. They were just phenomenal. So thank you for allowing me to talk about my experience. And I don't know if you saw in the chat, I said one of my highlights was meeting IU in person. I got to actually meet her after 3 years of being in the screen. We got to spend time together. She's really short. You can't tell that when you're in the screen. Michelle and IU, I tower above them. But yeah, I thought maybe my throat came because we went to a dance and it was loud music and we're trying to talk. So I thought maybe I lost my voice trying to talk so much, but then I started getting chills and kind of flu-like symptoms. And sadly, it looks like I did get COVID. And my fault, I didn't keep my mask on. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, we wish you a fast and speedy recovery, Mary. And I think you answered why these ladies have lost their voice. Maybe they also went to the same place partying and, they didn't care. So anyway, hearing you you painted the picture, so vivid picture, and it really brings in our eyes this just that, oh yeah, a dream, a wish that we could also attend one of the Toastmasters meeting, and who knows, it could be the next one. Bahamas sound exciting, isn't it? And what best could be if we all can meet, given that our club is a virtual club, and it could be one of the best place where we all can see each other physically. So thank you for sharing. Julia, I know that you could not visit this time physically, but you have shared on Facebook a lot of your memories from past convention, and I know you would have been following it up very closely. Did you have any special observation this time?
I tried to look at it from time to time, and I couldn't even register with my name. I don't know why. And finally, my daughter-in-law or former daughter-in-law came and put her name on my iPad. And when she didn't look, I could look at the convention. And I also seen at the beginning Michelle showing us on YouTube in direct the flags coming in. Thank you, Michelle. You put me inside somehow without any money, just looking. And so, and I somehow fall, I don't know now why, for the French Canadian who won, I think, the second prize online. No cooked cookies.
Wow.
Which has a nice story and show us that storytelling, personal storytelling, is still a very important element in speech.
That was actually the theme of the convention. All of us are storytellers.
Yes.
So that was-
So I was very proud that storytelling begin to be more and more recognized.
Wow.
For important and personal storytelling, especially.
Yeah. Yeah, I could feel, Julie, what you mean by that, because I know you are a personal ambassador of storytelling, in the sense the knowledge and reading you have had invested, the time you have been invested into how to tell a story. But having said that, I could notice it in the speeches, like the winners, all the three of them had their own personal storytelling. So definitely storytelling connects to the audience, and it makes a difference. I think I relate to it. I still have 1 minute, and I would love to hear from Christina if she has been attending, or if she has any experience from previous conventions she would like to share.
Oh, thank you, Yasmin. Well, thank you to everybody who shared. I'm really quite intrigued. I knew it was on and I thought about registering, but I also had an awful lot going on this week. So chances were that I wouldn't have actually been able to attend. But I've been to a number of the UK-based, the division. Is it division, is that right? Area?
Districts?
The district things. But our local district doesn't seem to be doing anything in person, which I think is really sad. And even the divisions, I think after area, everything pretty much seems to be online, which I find desperately sad, because I listened to a couple of the local districts online, and I'll be honest, I got quite bored, you know, having been in person a few times and met the most delightful people. I'm very blessed to have quite a big circle of Toastmaster friends, but since everything's been online, the sad thing is that it's our local group that meets up to do social things, but there's really not very much that I can see. Maybe it's just my particular area or division has suddenly become a lot less social than it used to be. So I was really heartened to hear that there was an in-person convention, and well done to the three of you for going. I'm really impressed. I would have loved to have been there.
Yeah. Thank you, Christina. Thank you for sharing your thoughts as well. And we really value the insights from you all seasoned Toastmasters, because this is in a way getting to know so much more about Toastmasters. And we really are thankful for your sharing your experiences. I'm just on the clock, so here I will officially adjourn and stop the recording.